Dice please, I think is a pretty common sentiment going around right now, considering what just keeps happening with Battlefield 2042. So we're going to discuss that today. Now, without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave it a nice, thick, and juicy like as always. Of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, you want more like it, be sure to hit that big red sexy subscribe button right underneath the video. Also, got to thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. If you want to join, get access to the exclusive perks that they get, then be sure to check out that link in the description. Now, let's begin. So what has DICE done this time? Well, if you aren't aware, there were some tweets from Andy McNamara that are now deleted. If you want to know my thoughts on those tweets, since that's kind of old news at this point, well, you should have been following me on Twitter. Not doing that. I mean, what are you doing? Follow me on Twitter. But what really happened was, despite the community asking, hey, we like Rush. That's a classic Battlefield mode. Since you're not doing a lot of classic Battlefield things, you could at least throw us a bone and keep Rush as a primary mode in a Battlefield game, considering how far back Rush goes with the franchise. What does DICE do? Take out Rush. I know they said that it was going to be in for the duration of the holidays because of how popular it was, but apparently they felt it wasn't popular enough to keep in the game permanently, despite everyone asking for it, because the main modes are so vehicle dominated that people wanted something a little bit more infantry focused, and Rush is very much a core Battlefield mode that is also infantry focused. I do think this is partly why, as of this morning, Battlefield 5 has twice the player count of Battlefield 2042 on Steam. Again, this isn't necessarily reflective of their numbers across all platforms, but at least on Steam, this is the case. I don't think that's a very good sign for the health of the game. Just saying. And I think it's really just these little things. Like, if the community is asking for things, if the community wants things, just listen to that. I mean, your own customer base is asking for something, and the easiest way to appease them is to give it to them. Why not just give it to them? Why not? Why not keep Rush in the game? I enjoyed Rush. I had a good time on Rush. Played it much as I could. I'd go back and forth between Rush and 64-player Breakthrough, which when they take 64-player modes out of the game, I don't even know if I'm going to play 2042 because I just can't do the 128 players. And not only did they take Rush out of the game, just to get back on topic, they replaced it with Free-for-All, because that's been such a Battlefield mode, so popular in the Battlefield franchise. People just love that free-for-all stuff. It's the greatest, most core PTFO mode I can think of. And then Gunmaster, which is a cool niche mode, but it's not something that I'm going to play a ton of. It's cool. It's interesting. It tests your skill. I can appreciate that, but it's still not a mode that I'm going to log on every day to go and play. Rush is a mode that people will log on and go and play, just exclusively that mode. It's linear. It's fun. It does have a little bit more of that compact nature, so some might even say that in a way it might be a little bit more on the strategic side, because you have to think more so in small squad tactics, so it throws a different kind of wrench into things as opposed to the much larger modes where a little bit more chaotic, and some people really enjoy that, as well as it of course being a staple of the franchise. So I don't understand why you would take something like this out of the game. I don't think it's a good idea. I think of all the blunders that they keep, they just keep tripping over themselves, it seems like. This could have been just an easy win for them. Just, hey guys, we're going to make Rush permanent. We're going to put it in the All-Out Warfare playlist and make it a core mode of the game, considering, number one, it's a core mode of the franchise. Number two, people are asking for it. We know the tech is there. They put 64-player modes in All-Out Warfare. So don't come at me with this we don't have the tech stuff. Your publisher is one of the largest publishers in the industry. I don't think tech is an issue at all. So I don't know what's going on up there at DICE. I don't understand it. It seems like such a simple thing. Your customers want something, give it to them. It really is not any more complicated than that. It really isn't. I don't care about any excuses. I don't care about anything like that. No, it's legitimately your customers want something. Not only have you fallen short with the expectations you set going into the game in an extreme manner, as far as just getting the bare minimum of the game set up and functioning, but now with something that you do have much more control over, you're going to take that away as well. You're going to mess that up too. I really don't understand why there's so many issues with just simply listening to your customer base, why there's so many issues with just trying to deliver a product that people want to play. Again, the numbers speak for themselves. Battlefield 5, which it's a big deal that this is a situation, even though it is the most recent game, so I know there's like this meme that everyone goes to the most recent game. Battlefield 5 is not a good game. To this day, it is not a good game. The fact that it has twice the amount of players that 2042 does is a really bad sign. A really bad sign. With that being said, I know this isn't the longest video I've ever made, but I just wanted to come in and quickly clear those things up, give my raw thoughts on it. The game needs a ton of work. I think I guess we can touch a little bit on the Andy McNamara tweets. He's deleted them, and I do think that there was a little bit of misinterpretation of what he was trying to get across. I understand. I think I understand what he was trying to get across as far as people they were maybe not aware that the DICE team was on break and they were expecting updates to come out over that break. And I think that's what he was trying to say, but he worded it in such a convoluted manner and an unnecessary manner that instead it felt like he was kind of saying that the expectation that the game should be functioning at this point is too brutal, and I don't understand. I know there's people in the community that have been toxic, and that is not a good thing. You shouldn't be harassing developers. A lot of your mainline developers aren't the ones making these decisions up at the top. They're not the ones. It's the guys at the top, the management, the EA guys, things like that. I can sort of understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, instead of either A, wording it like that, or B, saying anything at all, leave it be. If you're going to say anything, come out with a roadmap. Come out with something like what CD Projekt Red did, where they recognize, hey, this is the state of the game. It's not good, and we know we fell short of expectations. Do something like that. Admit you made a mistake. It's so plainly obvious to anyone that's A, playing the game, or B, generally aware of the gaming sort of community, that there is an issue with Battlefield 2042. It's there. So I think that could have been handled in a better manner, and I understand the message he's trying to get across. He just didn't do it very well, and because of that, I think there was plenty of backlash from the community, saying things like, how is expecting a functioning game when people are paying upwards of $120 for a game a brutal expectation? How are these basic features that you now call legacy features not being included in the game? How is that a brutal expectation? I think that's really where a lot of people are going with it. Of course, you have your usual bad actors, but that's going to be the case with anything. I think those kinds of people should be ignored. But one of the sad parts is, in the replies to the tweet before he deleted it, you could see he was really only responding to the people who are being super negative. And I think that's been an issue so far with 2042 since it's been released. Even in some interactions that I've seen between developers and other people, they seem to only look at the really negative stuff. And I know it's really hard, even as a smaller YouTuber, when you get 100 nice comments, it's that one negative comment that sticks out the most. It's really it's weird how it works that way, but it's just how it works. But you really have to try and ignore those kinds of comments, because again, if it's 1 out of 100, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 50, that's not a majority of people, and it's likely just somebody trying to troll you, or just being an ass, or they're just not aware of what goes into certain things. But some of the valid criticisms that were there were wholly ignored. Nothing was said about it. I don't know. This game has a long way to go for it to become functioning, and I know this was more of a candid video, but I just want to get my thoughts on the situation so far, and I do hope that the game rebounds at some point this year. I want to love this game. I don't find a whole lot of joy when playing it. There's so many just basic quality of life features that are not in the game. I guess you could say legacy features that are not in the game, that I think it just ends up becoming an issue, and I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what their goals were with not including them, but I think the game is far worse off without them, and I think the experience as a whole is far worse off because it's lacking them. I think people, and again, the numbers reflect this, are not going to connect with something that is so far from what they expect Battlefield to be, because Battlefield set the expectation on their own. They've already set a standard that they need to achieve, and by almost intentionally falling short, you're automatically screwing yourself, and then, foot and mouth disease seems to be going around. I could go on and on about it, but I want things to be better. I want Battlefield to be better. I want it to be the best it possibly can be. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry I've been posting a lot less recently. It's been kind of uninspiring for a little bit, and I've been trying to rethink things as far as how the channel is going. So bear with me while I try to figure that out. Streams are going to be coming back. I may not be posting as many videos. I may be focusing a little bit more on streams, but we're going to try and change up some of the things that we do around here and just try to keep it very fun. I don't want things to be taken too seriously on this channel. I want this to be a fun channel. Let me know down below what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next video.